My name is Kadarrell Atkins, and this is Ghettocation 101. Now, many of you may wonder if I'm in the category of a ghetto person. Well, today, I'm about to let you know. If you are ghetto, if you live in a ghetto home, or it just seems that you are surrounded by ghetto people. Okay, the first scenario I'm going to use is when your parents or someone you may know is picky on what you eat. Let's say, for instance, someone in your neighborhood or a teacher or a church member decides that they want to bring you a dish for a holiday, Thanksgiving or something like that, or just to bring a dish by to be nice. Now, you look at it, you like, okay, there are nice people in the world. You don't pay any of mind. They come over and the conversation goes a little something like this. It may start out by the person saying how hard they worked on it, like, oh yeah, I worked on these mashed potatoes, or I worked on this meatloaf, or I worked on this pumpkin pie very hard. And it's good, it's my grandma's recipe. And your parents or someone you may know is like, oh yeah, and I thank you. I really do thank you for it. Thank you. You know, and you like, okay, everything's going good. I'm ready to eat. And as soon as the person leaves out, the ghetto side comes in. That's when your parents or someone you may know pops up and says a little something like this: throw this shit away. Don't eat that. And you wondering why not? They ain't no good. They got roaches. They got roaches in their house. I know. And then they go to tell you about someone in their family, as let's just say their uncle. His uncle ain't no good. He on that shit and he don't clean his hands. And in your head, you be like, is this really happening? And then they tend to tell you something like, you want some pie? You want some meatloaf? I'll cook it for you myself. I'll go buy you some. And deep down in your heart, they're just saying that at the moment because they just trying to get their point across. But don't look forward to any meatloaf or any potatoes from your parents because they don't have it in their intentions in any kind of way to come back and fix you any meatloaf. Their intentions was don't eat that, throw that shit away. Okay, the second one I want to talk to you about is you live in a ghetto home if your mother or somebody has ever been on the phone talking some good gossip. Good gossip. And you got a lot of kids in the background making up a lot of noise. And they really don't want to make it seem like they are too busy not to listen to the gossip or make it seem like they're not paying attention or they're distracted. So it sort of looks like they're doing praise dancing or something, or they're just crying for help. It looks something like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, girl. Girl, I hear you. Yeah, he ain't nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you've seen that before, you live in a ghetto home. The third thing I want to talk to you about is your days of getting a whooping as a child. Now I know a whole lot of you can relate to this, and some of you who've never got any whoopings, maybe you can't relate to this. Maybe you missed out on a major part of life by not being able to relate to this. But if you've ever been a child and you've got a whooping, you had one of those parents who had about five kids, you had about five sisters or brothers, or mixed or whatever, and you get in trouble, and she say, "All right," she tell you, "Go get me a switch, go get me a belt," And somehow in your power, not caring about, well, that's my sister or that's my brother fixing to get that whooping, you try to impress your mother by going to get the biggest switch or the toughest, roughest belt that you can find. You bring that switch back or that belt or that switch back, and the whole time you putting in trying to be on her good side, and you probably have said something like this: "Here, mama, I go get that switch for you. I go get that belt," and you run, you go get the switch, brother, you bring it back, and you go around the corner and you listen to your brother or your sister get that whooping, and while they're getting that whooping, and it's over with, you pay attention to every detail because you have every intention on bringing it back up and telling them how it was when they was getting that whooping, or saving it to joke about later when they try to get on you. And after that person gets that whooping, you tend to go in there and that's your time to show your mother how good you are. You probably say something like, "Mom, I ain't being bad. I'm being good. I don't want no whooping," or something like that. And it always seems that parents, I mean, you got the different type of whoopers. You got the mothers who are lazy, who sit on the couch and have the nerve enough to tell you to come to them. Your mama probably sit on that couch and said, "Come to me. I ain't gonna run from you. I'm not gonna run after you. Come here." And the whole time, you knowing what she want, but any person in their right mind is not finna be in no rush to go and get it. So they up there telling you, "I'm not gonna tell you no more. Come to me." And if you lucky, they might give you a countdown. I'm gonna count to five. If you don't beat, and they not looking at you, but the whole time they just wait for you to get in reaching distance, so they can wrap you with that switch. She probably say something like, "I'm not gonna tell you nothing. I'm not gonna tell you none of the time. I bet by the time I get to five, you better be right here in front of me." And the whole time in that 5 seconds, you trying your best to explain yourself. "Mama, I promise. One, I swear I ain't gonna do that no more, mama. I swear that won't even me. Two," and you steady trying to explain yourself. "Mama, I promise I ain't gonna." Three, and you steady trying to explain yourself. You steady trying to explain yourself. Four, "Mama, please, mama." So you know you done got close to that five mark, so you started easing on in a little bit. So you ease on in, and before she can get to five, she done looked up and she full alert because she knows she got to do what she fixing to do. And she may wrap you and get about 3 or 4 licks off of you, you know. And you go back and you start the whole process over, and she tell you, "Come to me." You know, "I ain't gonna tell you no more. I bet by the time I get to five, you better be in front of me." And if you got one of them energetic mothers who don't mind running after you know, who still got a little youth in them, you know what I'm saying? The ones who will get you and go in a circle with you, whooping you in a circle, then you done had a ghetto whooping before. I'm talking about the type of mother that when they whooping you and you walling on the floor and on the slick you kicking back. You ain't trying to kick it, but you kicking. You reaching every time she swing that belt and you trying to grab that belt. And all of a sudden, she done hit herself because she whooping all out of proportion. That ain't your fault. You know what I'm saying? She done hit herself. And then all of a sudden she want to say, "Oh, you done made me hit myself with this belt." And she want to take it out on you because she done hit herself. You know what I'm saying? Who told her to make up a chopped up song stressing to you while she whooping you? You know what I'm saying? Repeating herself over and over to my, "Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Huh? Didn't I tell you? Don't go back outside in that grass. What them snakes at? Huh? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?" Who told her to do that? You know what I'm saying? Who told her to do that and be swinging all around and trying to swing on beat and miss and hit herself? Who told her that? You know what I'm saying? No, that's not your fault. That's her fault. But that's just the ghetto whooping for you. And then, you know you done got a ghetto whooping if, when your mother finished whooping you, it sounds like she just got through preaching a sermon, and she finna close like it's devotion or something, and she fixing to close. Cause when she finished, she say these words. It ends like this. Did I tell you don't go back out there? I'm tired. I'm tired. You done wore me out. I done told you over and over. I told you I was gonna get you. I told you I was gonna whoop you for old and new. Now get in there and go in there and lay down. Go to sleep and don't come back out. It sound like she wrapping up devotion. You know what I'm saying? She just as tired as she was, and she said she gonna get you for old and new. That's what she whoop you for, old and new. You know what I'm saying? So if you've ever witnessed that, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about one of them type of whippings that had you going to your room and laying down looking at your wounds, or she hit you head trying to feel your whelps, and all of a sudden you getting ready for that good sleep. I'm talking about the type of sleep that make you say and you take that nap, then you have had a ghetto whoop. And that's all I have for this episode. I am your host, Kadara Atkins, and you have just been ghetto-educated at Ghettocation 101. Stay tuned for part 2, coming very soon.